Hi. So here's my May book haul. Let me know it's very early on that I went crazy this month. I have a lot of books to show you right now. That does not even include like the 15 books I got at BEA. These are all the books that I have acquired since then. So I'm going to start off with 2 more ARCs that I received in the mail. This first ARC that I have is one that I actually wanted to get at BEA, but I was not there at the time it was being given out and I just kept missing it. So someone on Twitter offered to send it to me and she did. So I got Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I should have turned my notifications off on my laptop. It's gonna be dinging this entire video. My friend Sydney sent this to me because she had an extra copy and I was talking about how I was upset that I didn't get this one. This is the sequel to Illuminate, which I read last year as an ARC and adored. So this is just told in really interesting format and it's about sci-fi, space travel, people trying to take each other down, like intergalactic battles. I don't know what intergalactic battles means. I just threw that out there. It's so good, it's so interesting, and I cannot wait to read this sequel. It seems even bigger and better than the last one, so And the second ARC I got is part of a collection that I've been forming for some time. I decided that I want to try and collect like every edition of Shatter Me that there is because, let's be real, I don't have an excuse. So I sent someone a finished copy of Shatter Me in trade for an ARC of Shatter Me. This is from Chelsea, who I met through Twitter, and she had this advanced reader copy and I was like, can I have that? I don't think this differs any from the finished copy, but I just want to have this edition because like it's rarer. I just saw it and I was like, that's an edition that I don't have, so I need it. So thank you to both Sydney and to Chelsea for sending me those ARCs. Y'all are beautiful. Okay, I'm on a desperate hunt. If you or anyone you know has this cover of Shatter Me, I don't know if it exists, I don't know if it's out there, I don't know if anyone's willing to give it up, but I will literally trade anything for it. I will buy you books from Amazon, I will PayPal you shipping, I will trade you any ARCs that I have, my firstborn, whatever it takes. I will look into doing anything for that copy. Also, I've never seen an ARC of Unravel Me, but if there are ARCs of Unravel Me anywhere, that would be stupendous. I would love that. Again, would trade pretty much anything for it. After I got home from BEA, I immediately popped into Barnes & Noble. I got Always last semester for college, so I was gonna treat myself. I also went on that huge Chicago trip by myself. I bought 4 books. I'm gonna talk about them. This first one was actually by my aunt's recommendation. We were talking in the Starbucks beforehand and she was telling me that she loves John Steinbeck. So I picked up Cannery Row, which she said is like her favorite book, and she loves the writing of this book. So I decided to trust her and grab this. And the second book that I didn't expect to get while I was there is actually one that I've been intending on picking up, so like might as well have gotten it there. This is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. A lot of people are hauling this book this month, so I probably won't talk for too long about it. It's about a politician's daughter whose summer plans get ruined and she ends up becoming a dog walker. Assumably there's like family and boy problems. Morgan Matson just always delivers a great summery read with lots of feelings, and I'm excited to get into this one and see if I like it as much as their other ones. And here's the 2 books that I went there to get. The first one was The Raven King, obviously. I'm a little bit late to the game on this one because people have already finished this and they're already spoiling it, which is not cool. I have read all 3 Raven Boys books except for this one, and I wanted to pick this one up because I want to read it. I just love this series so much, so I anticipate I'll be fine if I don't reread the other ones. I just really don't want to be spoiled. So this last book was kind of the ticket item that I was going there to get. I bought A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book to A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. And let me just tell you a thing. This is one of the most game-changing books I've ever read. I think this might be replacing Shatter Me. Like, I know just 5 seconds ago I hauled that copy of Shatter Me talking about how I love it so much, but like, have you read this? It was so fantastic, and I think it's something that I read and then put down, and actually I had the thought like, why do I like Shatter Me so much if things like this exist? Like, it makes Shatter Me pale in comparison. It is so good. If you don't know, it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, except it has fae in it. If you like Shatter Me, you'll love this. You will be trash for it. We can talk about it. I highly recommend this series now, and I'm just waiting for that 3rd book. Life-changing. I received 3 books in the mail this month for review, so I will talk about those now. This first one, I have no idea how it came to me. I did not give this publishing company my address. I don't know how they got my address. Well, I posted it on Twitter, so that might be why. I got Wild Wild Swans from Sourcebooks. From what I can gather, it's just about a girl in her senior year having adventures. Her mother unexpectedly returns home with two of her half-sisters, and it seems like family drama mixed with teenage angst. I don't know if I'll ever get around to this, but maybe if I pick it up and read the first couple pages and it hooks me, then I will continue onward and review this. But at this point, I'm just like, not very much into YA contemporary anymore. I say as I hold Morgan Matson 5 seconds ago. This next book is from Entangled Teen, and this is called Love Me Never by Sarah Wolf. This is about a girl who's in high school and she's crushing on this guy that like has never ever showed interest in anyone around them, so it's kind of just drama between them, and there's a really interesting relationship there as far as like a bittersweet love-hate thing going on. It sounds really entertaining, and Entangled Teen always just has really interesting love stories. And the third book I have is from Penguin Teen, and it's called The First Time She Drowned by Carrie Clutter. This is a book that everyone has blurbed, like Jennifer Niven, David Arnold, Nicola Yoon, and everyone says it's beautiful. And it's a contemporary about a girl just struggling to come to terms with her mom who is mentally ill. I'm all about the contemporaries that have like deeper topics like that instead of just like summery and light and happy. I say, as I hauled Morgan Matson 5 seconds ago. I don't know why, that seemed really interesting to me, so I decided to go for it. Am I a villain for wanting to read a book? No. Alrighty, next I popped into Half Price Books because that's always a great decision. I had some textbooks to sell and I got $10, so I went kind of crazy in the store and I got 4 things. So I decided to pick up Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. This is something I would have never showed interest in. I would have never walked into that paranormal romance section in my entire life. But Sarah J. Maas has talked before about how great this series is, and as soon as I posted a picture of this on Twitter, a lot of people came forward and they were like, hey, that's a great series. So this is just like a vampire romance. It's probably just Twilight except better and a lot more descriptive romance elements. I trust Sarah J. Maas. Like, I've never met her, but I trust her, you know? The second book I got is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. My English class last semester was a focus on British literature in the Romantic era, and I fell in love with romantic literature, and so I googled what books were in that era that I think I would like, and this is one of them that came up very frequently. I'm all about it. Like, all the romantic concepts, all of the writers of that time, I just want to go back and explore, so this is one that was heavily mentioned, and I'm gonna try this one out. So this next book I found in the clearance section, and I was like, yeah! And this is The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. I have heard so many things about this book. A lot of people talk about this one, but I never really paid attention to what it's about. And the main reason that I picked this up is because Lin-Manuel Miranda has a table at Barnes & Noble that's like books that Lin-Manuel liked. And he was an English major, if you didn't know. We're basically soulmates, except I missed my window. But anyway, this is one of his favorite books. Everyone talks about this book. Everyone loves this author, and I want to give it a try. And it was only $3 for a hardback, so I'm there. And this last book I got is a memoir. This is Breaking Night by Liz Murray. Liz Murray, I believe, was homeless. So this just documents her struggle having to go from homeless and moneyless, but then she ended up going to Harvard. So I would love to see her journey, and this just sounded really interesting to me when I saw it online. I think someone recommended this one to me, and I've had my eye on it ever since then, and I'm excited to give this one a try. I really want to read more memoirs after reading The Glass Castle. I have accumulated several of them, and this is going to be the next one on my list. And lastly, I committed a really bad crime. We have a library bookstore in my town, and I was feeling it. I was like, ooh, I haven't been there in a year. I'm gonna go get a couple things, it'll be great. They had to give me a box to put all my books in. Why did I have to do this to myself? All the books there are like $1.25, which is why I went so crazy. First of all, I'm gonna talk about these babies. All the magazines are 25 cents each, and they had a ton of National Geographic magazines, and I was like, yes, please. Admittedly, I only got these because I wanted to cut out of them to put pictures in my journal. So like I got all the ones that have scenery in them, like mountains and Amazonia. But as I was flipping through these in the store, I was like, okay, this actually sounds really interesting. I might have to get me some National Geographic because this is so interesting. Something about Hamilton has just awakened my desire to learn more about the world. Stuff like this interests me, and I would have never picked up a National Geographic magazine and been like, wow, That's so interesting. I'm probably gonna read these before I cut them up and put them in my journal, but I just got five of them for my enjoyment. This next book, I literally almost screamed when I saw it there because this has been on my wish list for months. Station 11, which is a very popular book on BookTube, and it was only $1.50. God is real, and he was in that bookstore with me. This is an adult fiction book about the world has been overcome with an epidemic, and I think this follows a circus in this newly population-less world. Everyone loves it, and I think I'm gonna love it, and I can't believe I found it there. So excited. This next book I only got because it was $3, and I've heard of it, and I know it's like on the bestseller list on Amazon, so I was like, I'm there. This is Orphan Train by Christina Baker Klein. I'm not completely sold on historical fiction. Every historical fiction I've read before has sort of left me like, I don't really know if I enjoy that genre or not. So this book follows an Irish immigrant. It's about kids on orphan trains that get sent away if they're an orphan, I suppose. I just think this is gonna be a good book because it was $3 and I got it. Shh, I don't need it. This next book I got, I've been eyeing. I got I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zuzak. Marcus Zuzak wrote The Book Thief, which is the book that ended my life. Sorry about my laptop. I probably should go and turn that off, but I'm so comfortable. This book follows a guy named Ed who just is a normal person living his life, and he has to become a messenger of letters. I don't know what that means, but it's Marcus Zuzak, and I have faith in him. This next book, this is a 1953 edition of The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is one of my favorite books of all time. It's just so wonderful and so meaningful to me. I saw this and I just thought, when am I ever gonna see that edition of it ever again? So I picked this one up. This next book I got a while ago and got rid of it, but now I'm getting it again. This is Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. This is the second book in the Outlander series. I haven't read the first one since like sophomore year of high school, so it's a little bit ridiculous that I'm thinking I'm gonna continue the series, but I did enjoy it, and I think if I continued on I would enjoy it even more since I'm older now and I could probably like be okay with some of the things happening. I would definitely have to do a research of what happened in book 1, but one day I will have the courage to finish the Game of Thrones series and the Outlander series. The next book I have is Amazonia by James Rollins. This is a genre that I would typically never venture into. It's sci-fi, and the only reason I picked this up is because my friend Lindsay read this a while ago and she gave it a good review. It's just about some men in the Amazon exploring, and there's like genetically altered species. That could be totally wrong. I'm just making up words. It's just very scientific about the mysterious Amazon. So if you like rainforests and you like sci-fi. Okay, this next book, Reagan and I are in the same boat. If you've seen Reagan's book haul for May, we both made the exact same mistake. I saw the name Robin Hobb and I was like, yeah, I want to read that series. I didn't know this was the spin-off. This is Fool's Assassin, which is the first book in his Fitz and the Fool trilogy, which is actually the follow-up to the Farseer trilogy. I really want to read Robin Hobb, and I really want to read that series, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. But I have this, so this is probably going to go on the back burner for a long time. I really want to read Robin Hobb. That is one thing I picked up that I won't be able to read for a long time until I get the other series. I'm talking a lot, let's move on. I've been on a hunt for The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell for a while, but I didn't find it there. However, I did find Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. I don't know what this is about other than David Mitchell writes really good. Okay, moving on. This next book I have is a duplicate copy of something I already own, but this one is a non-movie cover, so I decided to just get this for $1.50 and then like do a switcheroo. Wild by Cheryl Strayed. This book is a memoir about a girl who hikes across the West Coast. Again, I'm loving memoirs. The next book I have is Doll Bones by Holly Black. I keep holding them up. Here, can you see it? I've read The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, which is like one of my favorite books of all time. Middle grade just goes by so fast and it's typically really entertaining and easy to swallow, so I picked that up real fast. Speaking of middle grade, I also bought the second book in the series of Unfortunate Events series. I read the first one a while ago and I did enjoy it, but I don't own the rest of them, so I'm gonna slowly accumulate these until I have them all because they're just so much fun. I really should have read these as a kid, but here I am, 18 years old, turning 19 in 3 days, reading them now. Going back to John Steinbeck, I purchased 3 of his books. So the first one I got is an obvious choice. It is Of Mice and Men. And the next one I got is The Pearl. And then I also got The Red Pony, which is in the same edition as Cannery Row. And these are all pretty short. I have faith in them. This book I honestly almost peed when I saw because I've been searching for this everywhere. Just Kids by Patti Smith. Max from Well Done Books really likes this book, and I've had a friend in one of my classes read this and be like, oh my god, it's so good. This This is another memoir. Whoa, did Johnny Depp blurb this? Who knew that Johnny Depp can read? This is about the 70s and New York City and drugs and music. I might have just made that up. I've just heard great things about it. And the last thing I got, I honestly just picked up because I was like, oh cool, when am I ever gonna see that again? And it is this copy of For Whom the Bell Tolls by Ernest Hemingway, which was in the antique section, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Ended up looking it up. This is a 1940 edition, which means this is a first edition, but I just picked it up because I thought it was cool. It's a classic, and it's a first edition. I am so pretentious about this. I need to shut up. I forgot to mention 2 non-bookish items. I bought 2 journals. These are from Home Goods, which I did not know Home Goods had some good journal products. These are really cheap compared to like Target where I usually buy journals. These were so great price. This was like $4 and $5. So this first one just says stay curious, and it's pink and it's like leathery material, and the inside is just lined. This next one, it just says notes on it and has little flowers, which I think is adorable. I think this might be my new video notebook because I did have a journal for my video ideas that I do not know where it is, but that's full. So this might be my replacement. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you've read any of these books, let me know. Sorry you've been here for a while probably, but goodbye.